So I've taken photos in a moving car, on a moving train. So naturally the next step is a plane. What about a boat?
Work hard, rest often.
Welcome back, or welcome to the channel. My name is Finn Badgley. I'm a commercial photographer and all-around content creator. And yeah, I did a shoot on a moving boat, and whoo, the photos, I could see them as they were coming in, and they, oh my God. Now, if you're returning to the channel, you've seen my friend and model Emily on here before, and you've seen some of the photos we've created before, but this time I was like, hey, we're going for some like old money yacht core style photos here. And she totally understood the assignment and she delivered. So we went out on a pontoon boat, and similar to a previous video I did where we were taking very main character energy photos with moving cars, this one, we had a driver there and we weren't on walkie-talkie since we weren't that far away. It was yelling distance. I was like 5 feet away basically. So I'm there and I'm like, I need a high angle because I want to be looking down at her, getting the waves going by. That was the whole idea. Get her lounging, just like existing, whatever. And the waves are rushing by, but she's just enjoying life, windswept hair, the whole bit. And I had this idea in my head. I'm like, okay. Now, here's the thing. To get waves going by at that level, to have them come up on the side, you need to be going pretty fast. Now, if you understand boats, you know that you have the little bumpers or buoys or whatever you call them, the fenders, the rubber things that keep you from hitting things on the side of a boat. We had those, and I knew that if I held them off the side, usually you take them off on like a party boat like this, you take them off when you leave. But we left them on because as they're hitting the water, they're gonna be splashing up water everywhere. So I needed this high angle. I'm on a stool, I'm on the bench, standing there, trying to balance myself while taking these photos. Water's rushing by. I'm trying to keep my balance while also yelling, faster, faster, more waves, faster. It was so worth it. Now granted, the one thing, if you've ever been on a pontoon boat, you know that they handle rough waves really well. And it wasn't a rough day, it was actually the perfect day. Because at first when we went out, we got these nice shots. It was overcast, she was backlit, this beautiful ethereal looking photos, just incredible. But when we actually got to taking these moving, I wanted like that harsh direct sun so I could underexpose the photo a little bit, get that really punchy, crisp detail in there, and whoa, that's exactly what happened. I looked at the position of the sun. I was like, okay, we got to go in this line along here. We did a couple test runs, made sure it worked. Okay, great. And then as I'm taking the photos, I'm like, okay, we need more waves. Got to go faster, 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 faster. And whoa, when I tell you, like, I mean, you can see for yourself. This is exactly what I had pictured in my mind. It was just perfect. And Emily and I have been shooting together for long enough where she just kind of understands what I need, what I'm looking for, and is able to do that. Like half the time, I'm not even needing to direct her. She already knows the direction I'm gonna give her, and then she just does that. That's why you work with talented models and stuff, because they just know what they're doing, and especially if you work together and you work well together, you kind of gauge that. Sometimes we joke that we share one brain cell. That's kind of what has happened here. But the best part too is some of the waves were actually splashing water into my lens. As I'm shooting this, I got the Cinebloom filter on there, so it creates a bit of a hazier look to things, a bit more filmic in quality, but just waves hitting the lens, hitting me, hitting everything. But the water droplets on the lens actually kind of worked for it. They weirdly pull you in more. Because sometimes like this, you want the photo to be technically perfect, but sometimes you want those imperfections in there. And when I saw the water splashes, I'm like, oh my God, that's perfect. That's exactly what this needed. It's that extra level that pulls you right in. And like the amount of leaving that little bit of negative space, the angles here, the framing, I just love how this all came together. There's nothing quite like having a vision in your brain, communicating it to everyone, having them understand it, and then bringing it to life. Taking those photos and really just bringing an idea, something abstract, something that you can take and really manifest it in reality. There's no feeling like it, and that's why I love taking photos. That's why I'm a photographer. It's like one of the best feelings in the world. And then to top it all off, because hold on, the story's not done, because this is, yacht life, party boat, we got to take some photos in the water. Now on this lake, I've been coming here since I was a kid, so I know this lake like the back of my hand. I go out on that boat multiple times a summer for hours, and I know where the good spots are. And sometimes there's one spot that's quite a bit busy, there's a lot of boats there, and I'm like, not quite it. Also the light, the position of it, it just wouldn't quite work. It would be a little too frontal or a little completely backlight, and her face would just be a little too in shadow. So I know a secret spot. Very few people on the lake know about this spot. A nice secluded sandbar. So I was like, great, we'll go there. And at this point I finished the roll in my Mamiya, but I wanted to take a couple extra 35mm photos. And rather than using something like my usual film camera, my Ricoh here, I tried to keep the package pretty light. I took this guy, my little Minolta point and shoot film camera, something super small and easy that you can just throw in your pocket, throw in your bag, and take some great photos on 35mm. Because I wanted to keep that film aspect in there to keep it all the same. Now, a lot of the film photos, they were all shot on Kodak Gold 200. So, if you've been looking at Kodak Gold 200, especially the new 120 variant, these are what some of the images look like out of it. In fact, I've actually made a full review of it. That will be up on the channel if it's not already up by now. If so, it'll be linked up here. If not, it'll be probably coming like next week or something. So subscribe for when that guy comes out. But then we went out to the water and jumped in. It was pretty cold. This is getting to like, starting to go between summer and fall, and it was pretty chilly, but you get in the water for a bit and you settle in, you're chill, you're like, great. But as we're going into the water, I was like, it would look great if she was coming up the ladder and I capture her as she's coming up. And then, what if I get her on the boat, but I'm on the ladder from below looking up at her, and you get the sky, and the light was amazing, and it just worked really well for that perspective. And these shots, like the light here, I added a bit of flash just to kind of fill in that one side of her face since she was really backlit, just to kind of even things out. So I had her kind of stood off to the side, and the light, for reference, is about here, further away, but about here. And I just kind of clamped it onto the bimini top. That's what they call the cover on a pontoon boat. I clamped that guy there just to add a little bit of punch to that light there, and it absolutely worked amazingly. And that's what I like when I can use my flash triggers between my digital camera and my film camera, so I can just jump between them and still get the same results. So it absolutely worked beautifully there. And then once we were in the water, again, I wanted to underexpose a little bit and get those nice backlit shots that just kind of round out the whole story. Just a great day on the water is kind of like what this ended up turning into, that kind of old money aesthetic, but also enjoying life, enjoying the water, enjoying that, enjoying that kind of cottagey aspect of life. And we did a couple outfit changes here. The pontoon boat has a little change room on the back that you can just change into and out of as you go. So you don't need anything as you're just out on the water. It's all taken care of. It's great. And it ended up being just a great day of creating some amazing photos and just hanging out with some great people. It's times like these where really I just love being a photographer. I mean, I always do, but like these really make it worth it. And getting the film back, seeing the photos and seeing how they match up with the digital, it's always great to see, and it reminds me why I shoot film too, because it just gives another added level of something there that you can't get otherwise, in my opinion. But let me know what you think, what your preference is out of the digital and the film photos here. I'd love to know your thoughts. But with all that said, I hope you enjoyed this behind the scenes look. Subscribe for more behind the scenes videos, especially as I do different creative ideas, stuff like that. Let me know if you have any suggestions for shoots too, because I'm open to creating some funky stuff. So drop those in the comments, and remember to work hard and rest often. As always, I'll see you on the next video.